Now, Soulstock's next weekend, right, Phillip?
Next weekend.
Why on earth would you want to compete with a rodeo?
Well, we didn't intend to do that. Well, we figured.
I got your competitor in here this morning, rodeo queen.
I don't, you know, it used to be the first Saturday in May, and it was never a problem with rodeo. And then the first year we went over to Decatur, it was not the same weekend as the rodeo. So we really didn't realize it happened that way. And I think it's the way the calendar falls. So every 3 or 4 years we'll compete.
Daniel, how are you?
I'm good.
Now, what are you?
He's here for physical support.
Yeah, we know you from down at Lindsay Lane Baptist Church. You do all their expert video work down there. So what is your connection with Phillip?
I've been working there for probably 6 years, and I help out with the stage. I'm the stage.
He runs the stage. He's being too modest. He's the guy that we want
handling
get the
all
stage
the audio.
working. That's right. Yeah.
You know, there's almost, what, 30 churches involved this year?
30 churches this year.
Well,
that's right.
Can you believe that?
That's good. We like that.
On a, can you video? Is this allowed to be? Can you videotape this entire thing, or are there copyright infringement laws?
Yeah, you got to get permission.
Okay, so you couldn't run it in us area as a special.
No.
Nice
Okay,
try.
I just want to make sure if I might be able to squeeze a few bucks out of this in the end. I can't.
At least you're being honest.
We make a donation out of it. We make it work you in.
I saw you on Susie's show. I
do
read
that.
down in Decatur yesterday, and talking about everything, how you grew. You say you started very young doing this.
This is the 14th.
How did you come up with the idea to do this?
I didn't come up with this idea.
You stole it from somebody.
No, it just it's one of those God things. Just to be honest, we never would have. I said yesterday, and I've said before, if I would have known it was going to end up this big, I would have never jumped into this.
But
it started a little, and we just got to going. And I told somebody yesterday we've learned 14 or 13 different ways not to do it. We try to keep getting better at it.
Well, I'll tell you how
so now it's going to be a 2-day event, so you have an extra day to learn.
He's gotten so big that he doesn't do beaches anymore, and he bumped ZTV from being a sponsor. So now he's gotten so big that he's gone on to get other bigger people involved.
Well, it works.
That's kind of the way I look at it, Phillip. You tell me your side.
I thought you were coming along with us and going to be big like we were.
Well, yeah, thanks for the confidence, but I don't think we quite got there. Who else is going to be there this year?
Good groups.
2 nights. We're really fortunate this year. On Friday night, we've got a huge lineup. We are starting off with Lindsay McCall. She's a worship leader from Chicago area. And then Caleb Chapman and his dad, Stephen Curtis, will follow that.
Oh, okay.
Stephen Curtis, of course, one of the biggest names in contemporary Christian music. 46 #1 hits.
5 Grammy.
Yeah, just all kind of hardware to go with it, so we're excited to have that. Saturday night, then we're going to start at about 4, and we got a little band called Luminate opening up, and then Mike's Chair, who's getting a lot of play locally, and for King and Country, who happen to be Rebecca St. James' his younger brothers, Britt Nicole, and close out with Super Chick. So
Super Chick.
Super Chick.
Sounds
That's what I've been nicknaming you.
Hush.
Now, this is a free event.
Free event.
So how can you afford all this top-notch entertainment?
Well, again, I'll go back to this, and we've learned to say this often. It's a God thing, you know. We do get a lot of sponsors and help. It's about a $70,000 project. This year we've got 30 churches that are helping. That's part of the purpose of the ministry is to show churches doing things together.
All churches.
That's right. All churches, rather than fussing and complaining about things, it shows them all working together. So we're excited about that. Local businesses, this year we're partnering with Show Hope, a ministry out of Nashville, a ministry that supports orphans. They're going to try to sell packets to support orphans.
Good.
They also help with some adoption process.
What about the Souls to Soul?
Souls for Souls, that's our only ticket price if we've got a price to come in. We're asking people to bring shoes or new or gently used shoes. And what we do with those is the company, a ministry called Souls for Souls, will take those and send them to third world countries where they don't have shoes at all.
Well,
so
if
it's too easy an opportunity.
We all have extra shoes in our closet. So
right.
No, not you.
I'll send you with a pair.
If I wanted to spend money there, what could I spend money on?
We have a couple different options there. We got all kind of food. I think 10 or 12 different vendors, varieties, vendors to eat. We want you to spend money there because that helps support it a little bit. And the bands will all have their merchandise. So if you want to buy a certain CD,
Got shirts like that for sale too.
Well, we don't have this shirt for sale. This is an earned
shirt.
This is an earned shirt here. We'll sell you one of these for about $10,000 if you want.
Daniel, when all this is going on, are you running the audio board? Are you overseeing that, or what are y'all doing?
We contract that out, but there's always band transitions and getting all that stuff prepared whenever they're done, getting the next one on there and stuff like that. It's a very stressful day for me.
I want to say congratulations, too, on handling Dusty McLemore's 20th anniversary. He was bragging about that the other day in the spinning class.
Well, thank you.
Whoever came up with the idea for the cake, it was all, Alabama, and then you cut it open and it's Auburn colors. That was pretty clever.
That'd be his sister-in-law. So.
Okay, that was pretty clever.
What time does everything get underway next week, Phillip?
Okay. Friday, we're going to open the gates at 5:30 and start at 6:30. We'll probably go till around 11 on Friday.
No coolers, right?
No coolers. No coolers.
Alcohol-free event.
No alcohol, that's right. And we want you to buy food from the vendors. That's the reason no cooler. And then Saturday night, we're going to open the doors at 3 Saturday afternoon and start about 4 and go to 10-ish or so.
Out of 20,000 people, you'll have all ages.
That's right.
This is for everyone.
You think it's a youth thing, but it's a great family event. You'll have, well, my new granddaughter. Can I say hi to Alice this morning?
Yes.
My new granddaughter will be there at 5 months, and there'll be people 70 or 80 years old.
And do you really think she saw you say hi?
Probably not, but her mom will let her know that.
I'm sure. That's great.
Let's change the subject a little bit, talk about something else. You're a minister, church right over here, right next door to us, basically. You're big into working at Lindsay Lane. President Obama, they came out this week, interrupted programming on ABC. Special announcement. The President of the United States, of course, Vice President Joe Biden let it slip over the weekend that this is where they were going. Says that he now is for same-sex marriage, meaning woman marrying woman, man marrying man. Said the majority of the country.
I said 50%.
50%, that's the majority in what this did, supported this. I don't know who they talking to, but they ain't talking to folks around here.
That's right. That's right.
From a
Biblical.
church's standpoint or a pastor's standpoint across America, you being one of thousands, how do you guys react to that? How do you respond to that, maybe?
Or maybe tell the youth or the church.
To start with, I think there's a lot of political move involved with it as much as anything.
Yeah.
Clearly, that's the case. Of course, that happens on any side of the discussion you have. I think it's clearly a polarizing discussion for people. But as far as the church is concerned, I think it's a good opportunity for us. You tend to have the mindset that the church is anti-gay movement. And I want to try to have a negative, hateful attitude to it. Now, I think it's wrong. I think marriage should be between a man and a woman. That's my understanding of Scripture. The way I read it, that's what I come to that conclusion. But where we mess up, I think, in the church is when we become so angry and hateful toward that group of people. We shouldn't treat them any different than
they should have the same rights, but should they be able to marry one another?
Well, when you get into the legal issues, that's something that we can't really, we can try to vote our people in what we think.
30 states have vetoed that. Said no, they should not be able to.
That's right. And I think we have to go by that, by what our laws of our land stand on. Now,
but our country is losing so much morality as the more liberal process takes over.
That's right. That's right. Which is a challenge for those of us that are trying to follow God with everything we can to try to continue to.
But they're trying to keep God out about everything there is now.
That's right. There's going to be an event next weekend. They're not going to kick him out of it.
That's right. There's one of the big events down there.
That's right. And again, our attitude has got to be one that's not so hateful. I think the problem is that we polarize ourselves so.
Because there's one minister that's on the YouTube and on there that went ballistic over something similar.
Showing a lot of hatred.
In my opinion, that's not the way to handle it. Right. I think we got to be kind and loving. If we look at how Jesus responded to people who were terribly opposed to things he was teaching, he was loving to them. Now, he didn't, by loving them, you're not condoning what they're doing,
right? But
you still got to show that attitude. I think that's where that's our challenge in this as believers.
All right, well, good luck.
No discussions of that next week.
I think it has a lot to do with, we hate the sin and not the people.
That's right. That's right.
That's probably the biggest thing that I think about is, I think it's wrong. It is wrong, but, the sin is what's wrong, the people.
So I'm assuming you guys will be voting Republican like me when the election comes up in November?
Well, we'll be voting.
Yeah, I know you will. We'll plug this every day next week for congratulations on a fantastic deal. How big do you think this thing's going to get?
Well, we just keep showing up.
Yeah,
that's right. We just keep showing up and doing our part.
So where will you move from Point Mallard?
We're thinking about moving to
Where's Big Spring Jam take place?
to one of the big stadiums somewhere like Nashville or.
You're not in charge.
Anyway, congratulations, both of you.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing such a good job keeping old Dusty in line down there, Danny. We'll take a break. We've got Dr. Jason Reed joins us too. Rodeo Queen Steve. I'm gonna make her wait.
You just
Y'all
like
want a
looking at
cupcake?
her.
I got plenty of Gigi's cupcakes over at Chick-fil-A this morning. We'll take a break on this Friday morning edition of Cooper Company Live. Y'all hang on.